Alex here with a high conflict child custody video on fears of child abduction. So there's two versions of this video. The first version we'll do is the scary version. Let's get it out of the way. If you are afraid that your ex is going to abduct your child, and your ex is a foreign national of another country, I cannot tell you what I'm going to tell all the other people, which is that you're probably going to be fine. The fact of the matter is you may not be fine, because a lot of times when a foreign national flees to their home country with their children, the home country does oftentimes protect that person, with rare exceptions. For example, the United States is typically one of the countries that will send the kids back. I'm not sure where the Hague Convention was held or ratified or drafted up, but I do know that the United States takes the Hague Convention and the acts on child abduction seriously. Other countries that take it pretty seriously, for example, one of them would be Canada. But you would be surprised to hear how many supposedly enlightened first world countries are not, according to our State Department at least, are not compliant with the Hague, who do disregard United States court orders, who do protect the abducting parent from any kind of consequences. For example, one of them is Sweden. There's a state report on Sweden, and they're considered non-compliant. There's another state report on Poland. It's just as bad. These are European countries. We're not talking about some Middle Eastern or some African, failed state. We're talking about Sweden here. And the issue is that the citizen who flees ends up being a Swede, and the urge of the home country is to protect the Swedish citizens. It's not supposed to work that way, but sadly it does. So if you have kids with a person who is a foreign national of another country, I don't even know if it matters that they have citizenship here, the other country may still protect them, then it is a serious concern. That being said, if your ex is an American and they flee to another country, oftentimes that country will, return the children to you. It's just it's not the same. They don't see an American who flees to their borders with a kid, especially when an American court has said that kid needs to be with their father or mother. They don't see that the same as a Swedish citizen who happened to be in America for a while, had a kid, and ran back home, claiming that they've been abused and neglected and the kids are being tortured, all this crazy stuff. It's sad to say, but they protect the Swede. I'm going to post a link to the U.S. state report on the compliance of these other countries so people can look through and see what might surprise them regarding some of these countries' track record for protecting the abducting parent. It surprised me, and it has angered even some of the judges here. The rest of this video will be for all the other people. Yeah, it's a fear that anyone's going to have, especially with just a real recalcitrant ex, just a real stubborn, headstrong, personality disordered, obsessive, abuser, neglector, whatever it is. This is a common fear that if you fight too hard, your ex is going to run away with the kids. It doesn't happen that often. It's not very likely for it to happen. You can't just give up based on that fear. Really what it comes down to is you have to do what you have to do for your kids within the boundaries of the law. And if your ex is really going to resort to breaking the law and running away, then you can deal with that when it comes. But this whole idea that you have to let your kids be abused and neglected, because if you don't, your ex is going to run off with them. It's just, the problem is that the probability is so low, and that you're actually playing into the fear and intimidation tactic. A lot of times these types of people will present that kind of aura, that kind of threat. They'll put that shroud over you because they know they can't win, because they know they have issues, because they know they're abusive. And as I mentioned in my video, how abusers win, they don't need to beat the system, they just need to beat you. They just need to scare you. They just need to make you give up. They're trying to pinpoint the weakest link in this process. And it's not the lawyer, it's not the judge, it's not the court, it's not the law, it's not the system, it's you. And so one of the things that they will do is intimidate you and insinuate things. One time my ex mentioned she bought a fifth wheel. That kind of stuff is to just get your head ticking, thinking, oh, they're going to get in a motorhome and drive around all the country and run. You know, there's just, I get that. It happened in my case. My ex was such a poor parent that the court terminated her parental rights. That is one of the most extreme things that a court can do. She fought me through 20 hearings. She had an attorney she probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. And the whole time I thought, what if she runs? But I just kept on keeping it inside. I kept thinking, if she runs, I'll deal with it when it happens. I'm going to fight for this little guy. He's being abused and neglected. I'm not going to give up. She's not going to just get to abuse and neglect him because I'm scared of what she might do. If she's going to do something illegal, do it. And when she does, I can deal with it when it happens. I know that there is a small percentage of the time that a parent abducts a kid. I know that there's an even smaller percentage of the time really tragic when the parent kills the kid. But you can't base the whole entire community's responses to child abuse and neglect based on these outliers. You know, just to protect that one kid from being killed, we're going to allow 20,000 kids to suffer abuse and neglect and grow into adulthood and have all kinds of issues? No. I mean, it sucks that those really bad parents are out there, but the rest of us, we have to stay the course and use the system. If our ex resorts to violating the law, we just take the next step in the process, enforce it, enforce the existing orders, have them imprisoned if they've committed kidnapping, prosecuted to the maximum extent of the law, and then going forward, no more visitation for them. In Nevada, we have statutes where if a parent abducts a child, they're not entitled to visitation anymore. They might get supervised visitation, but I'm not even sure if they get that. So anyway, with that, I'll go ahead and end this video. I know it's just a fear that some people have, and I had it myself too for years and years, and I just stayed the course, and hopefully anyone watching this will understand where I'm coming from. It is scary, but you have to stay the course. Do not make a decision based on that kind of intimidation. That just plays right into the problem, plays right into their antics, and you're just going to get more intimidation. It's not going to stop just because you caved. They're going to sense that weakness. They're going to exploit it. So with that, I'll go ahead and end this video.